Says here that 20-year-olds today, one second, 20-year-olds today have the testosterone of 70-year-olds in the 1970s. Wow. And it says here, sadly, you are probably one of them. Well, I'm not one of them because I am 30, sir. But I can see why a lot of young men today do have low testosterone. Um, but before I get into that, I will say this. I will say this. When I was 19, 20, or even just 18, or high school for that matter, I would be in a gym and I would be the only high school person in there. It would be me and my homie working out after school. There was a gym right by my high school. Um, Back in the day, I don't know if it's still there anymore. I doubt it. But we used to go there after school and we'd be the only high school kids in there, right? Today, I go into a gym, I see a lot of younger kids now, especially when, school's in session. I see a lot of younger kids after school now working out. So, but I can see as a whole, in general, because the world works in generalities. Yes, I can see how young people would have low testosterone. Um, and a lot of that comes from lack of exercise, the food that we're eating. Scientists say microplastics. I do believe that plays a role, but I also think that a lot of young kids now just live in a very internet-driven society, and that makes you weaker. You know, the society in general has gotten easier, so we had to go out. I'm not saying that you know I didn't have it easy because I was in that generation of internet, but I still understood what the internet was before. I understood what life was before the internet. So, I mean, it was drastically different, but I will say kids today they have it a lot easier. You got Chat GPT, you got AI, you got um just a lot of the modern conventions that weren't there before are now here. you know um and things have gotten advanced. So when things advance, you get lazier. When you get lazier, you get weaker. When you get weaker as a man, your testosterone, it does decrease. um so yeah, man, I think that also plays into a lot of addictions these kids have, from prawn, uh from video games, from just instant gratification, constantly dopamine hits. I think all these things play a role in young men's testosterone dropping. Um, these Gen Z kids, man, a lot of these Gen Z kids, bro, they're different. I'll be here and say it. I'm not saying they're all, um, but most Gen Z men are not as masculine as before. They're just not as masculine as the millennials, the young millennials. I'm a young millennial, the Gen X's, the baby boomers. The Gen Z, they're just a different type of like the masculinity in Gen Z men is very small. Whenever I see a Gen Z kid, they just look like children. Even when they're in their 20s, they act like children. They act like children. They behave like children, you know? And these are people that are in their mid 20s. So they're just different, man. It's a different time in society. I don't know what's going on, but it's a different time in society. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what these kids are eating, but yes, um, it's a different day and time. And the masculinity, the unapologetic, the aggressiveness, you just don't see it. You don't see it in these Gen Z kids anymore, man. In these young Gen Z kids, it's just not there for whatever reason. I don't know, but I mean, it is what it is, man. Maybe it'll reset in 20 years, but I just know that this generation and what's the one before or after them is Gen Alpha, right? Ah, and now we got Gen Beta coming up. So I don't know, man. To reset this is gonna take about, I'll say, 25 years for all this to reset. But Gen Z is the one that's leading the pack, you know? So it is what it is, man. I'm not faulting nobody for behaving how they behave. Um, it is what it is, bro.